Starts fine. .51 is temperature, 14 is the alternator, RPM in the center. This is the 97 Tacoma. She's not smoking as much as she was yesterday. Quick update, guys. I put new spark plug. I swapped out one of the coil packs because it was an aftermarket one and it got stuck inside the spark plug. I also put some used good coil wire plugs. Went ahead and put a new radiator cap. Yesterday she was smoking. We done a compression test. Compression is good on all cylinder. We got about 140 to 150 psi on the passenger cylinder, and then on the even cylinder driver's side we got around 160 to 170. So we'll see how it is. We don't suspect a head gasket. I've been driving it for about last 15 miles and it doesn't overheat or anything like that. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the coolant, and then if it's good, we'll go ahead and change out the oil and go from there. I did went ahead and top off the oil just a little bit, but then we'll go ahead and change out the oil later. It is freezing. We're in single digits right now. Last night before I went to bed, I also went ahead and cracked open the throttle body, cleaned out the throttle body with brake cleaner, also took the IAC valve off and cleaned it. Surprisingly, it wasn't that dirty, and we still have a high idle. So it'd be funny, like right now, even when it warms up in a bit here, it's gonna keep idling around 1200. But if I was to turn it off after it's fully warm up, if I was to turn it off and then turn it back on in the next 5 minutes, I'll idle back to normal around 800, 900 RPM. So right now I'm trying to find out what that high idle is. But again, it only does that on the first cold initial start. I'm gonna head to the parts store and go buy me a new PCV valve because the one I noticed in there is pretty dirty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slap on a new PCV valve. I don't want to dump anything too crazy into this engine yet until I get everything all fixed, and then we'll go ahead and do a full baseline as far as the oil change, coolant flush, and all that fun stuff. Let's go for a drive. Just made it to my local parts store. You can see we're fully warmed up, and right now it's still idling high. Really weird, but we're not overheating or anything like that. So it's been idling around 1300. So that means cleaning that throttle body and also that IAC valve didn't help much last night. I'm gonna shut off the vehicle, go grab some parts, and once we come back, I'll start it back up for you, and you're gonna see that it's gonna idle under 1000 RPM now. Quick walk around on the Tacoma, since you guys never really seen it. You guys only seen it on the car dolly. You guys can see the red tailgate is still nice and glossy. The cab right here could use a little gloss wax polishing. 31 10 5 15 KO2s. I'm actually gonna keep this set of tires for my black Yoda, so whenever I need to do any towing long distance, I'm gonna slap these onto my black Yoda. And then the other day I picked up some 235 15s on the same wheels. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer those onto this truck here. This hood has been repainted. You guys can't see on video, but it's been repainted. You can see that in perfection. I do got the trim piece. I got it on order. And then this side can use a little nice buff and wax to make it a little bit more glossier. I also ran the ozone cleaner a couple days ago. I ran it all night, and it got most of that smell out, that dog smell out. And then I did a little bit of vacuuming. So it's not as bad as it was. I'll go ahead and I didn't vacuum the passenger side because my shop vac couldn't reach it when I was in the garage. So I'll probably do the passenger side later on. And then we'll probably go ahead and run the vacuum cleaner one more time. And then I also went ahead and ordered myself a steamer. And first time using the steamer, works pretty good, cleaning all this stuff out. So let's hop in and I'll give you guys another first start. You can see the idle went down just a little bit. We're at 1180 right now, 1160, 1180. It's still high idle. This is considered high. There's no vacuum leaks or nothing like that. So right now I want to troubleshoot what that high idle is and go from there. Maybe we need to change the MAF. I got plenty of MAF, so maybe I'll swap out the MAF and we can just roll that out. That'll be something simple to do. Let's go for a drive. As you can see, it drives really good. Shifts nice and smooth. 4-wheel drive works great. The KO2 has some good traction, much better than my Baja Boss, obviously. Not overheating, no crazy hesitation or nothing like that. Just simple Toyota reliability. So the biggest thing is that, I think it has a head gasket. I think it's a very small head gasket, but at the same time, it's not overheating and it doesn't really smoke that much. The smoke that it's getting now is like the common smoke like in this truck right here. So right now, we're just gonna say that it doesn't have a head gasket, and I wanna put at least a couple hundred miles on this truck just to make sure it's confirmed we're not losing coolant or anything like that. I think after 100 miles, I'll check the coolant and we'll see if we lose coolant. If we are losing coolant, then it may be like a small head gasket or a small cylinder crack or something along that line. Yeah, we are in the garage. Just got back from running that errand. You can see the oil. The oil that has a little bit of stuff right there, but for the most part, it's not milky or anything like that. If this does have a head gasket, it's a very, very, very minor head gasket because, like I said, it's not overheating and it's not really smoking that bad. New radiator cap. Spark plug wires, spark plugs, compression check, all good. We'll go ahead and replace that PCV valve because I've noticed that the PCV hose was super milky and dirty. So maybe that check valve is not working properly. I also told you guys that this vehicle had a leaky injector because as soon as you start it, you can smell gasoline. And fuel injector 3 and 5, they were a little bit wet when you look down through the valley here. I did went ahead and take out the injectors, and I went ahead and put new O-rings and seals, and there's no more leaking fuel, so we fixed that issue. Just went ahead and put the new PCV valve with a new PCV grommet, and we'll start her up and see how she does. Again, she still has that wear idle, so I think I might swap out the MAF airflow sensor because I have backups of those. So let me change out the MAF and we'll see if that makes any difference. Swap out the MAF sensor, new PCV valve. Let's see how she runs. Like I said, it's fully warm up. We only took like a quick 15-minute break, still idling high. Let's go for a spin, right around 1080. Temperature, the highest temperature that I've seen is about 190, which is normal. 185 to 190 is usually the running temp. Had to install my oversized mirror real quick. I always have plenty of these on backup. Whenever I get another truck, I just slap these on because these are so useful. And it's nice to have this one on this vehicle because this Tacoma has a topper, so you can't really see because of the topper, but this right here helps. $10 on Amazon, link in the description. Currently on the highway doing highway speed, 55 miles an hour. Absolutely no issue at all. Runs good. We're at 192 for the temperature, which is very normal again. Looking at the back of my tailpipe and I don't see crazy amount of smoke, just regular smoke. I'm doing my oil change right now. I have the oil drained out already, but I've noticed that it's been steaming like this. Very, very odd. I have never seen it steam like this before. So the only way I can think of is that maybe coolant did get inside and the coolant's burning off from the heat inside of the metal. But it's very, very strange. I've never seen it steam before. So here's the oil. The oil looks good. It's just dirty. It wasn't milky wet or anything like that. It looked like some 530 oil. It's super lightweight. But I pour some sample in here so you guys can see what it looked like. It doesn't look milky or doesn't look nothing like that. Like I said, I didn't see anything. When I was draining it, I kept my eyes on it to make sure there wasn't like nothing funky coming out. But it's not milky or anything, guys. So, just never seen it like that before. We're going to go ahead and put some new oil, 530, along with the new oil filter. And go from there. So far, it hasn't lost coolant. Radiator is still full, along with the reservoir still full. And you can see it's still steaming. Maybe because my garage is cold in here, but who knows? Like I said, so far, you know, it looks like a head gasket, but at the same time, it's like, maybe it's not a head gasket. I'm going to go ahead and swap out my throttle body because I have spare throttle body. So I'm going to go find one that's similar to this one here. And we'll change out the throttle body, see if that makes any difference.